Well, here we are, Sunday night, 8 o'clock. I'm always punctual. I'm not really sure if Alex, Disabled Vets Perspective, is still live at this moment, but if he is, he'll be ending shortly, and maybe some people will come in here. Usually takes a little while. It always does. I don't know how these notifications go out. You know, a lot of people tell me they don't get notified when I go live. So, in the meantime, we'll be here and we'll talk about a few things. And we'll see if we can get some people in here shortly on the chat. I don't want to get too involved, but I'm using StreamYard now instead of Streamlabs, and everybody tells me it's a better picture. The camera is more crisp and sounds good. So we're just going to hang around here for a minute. There we go. All of a sudden it popped up. Dangerous Freedom. Stro time. Hey, how are you? Gosh, I've been so busy. I need to catch up on some of your videos, Stroke Time. Spirit Dancer is here, and Wilman 757. So that's great. So I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on with StreamYards. Some of you were here today, and so you see I'm playing around with this thing. So I'm going to be broken up a little bit as I try to bring these stories to you and still change things on the screen. I'm not quite that coordinated yet, but we'll get it figured out. And let's see if we can do this for Stro Time. There it is. No worries, my friend. We've been super busy too. Sorry we haven't been around either. Well, thank you so much. And then Spirit Dancer. Hello, cousin. How you doing? Spirit Dancer, of course, is the wife of Spirit Talker. One Dirty Rotten Imbecile 69. Good to see you as well, my friend. So we got D.A. Archer, good friend of mine. Goodness, Deplorable Bobby popped up there. That's awesome. Yeah, it is a little bit funny. Liberty Smith, he's here. Yes, I'm here, Bobby. Knuckles and a thumbs up. Thank you, Liberty. I appreciate that, brother. Let me go back to the comments. I sort of like this a little bit. We'll see what happens. There we go. It's has to catch up, I guess. But anyway, we got some people in here. So I want to talk to you for a minute. God bless America. Glad you're here. I'm going to be posting my stuff up here and there. Let's get rid of that for right now. And let's see. I'll put my internet phone number up there. Just in case anybody wants it, they can call. It's right there. Cornbread, glad to see you here too, brother. And let's see here. I want to ask you to remember somebody in your prayers tonight. I've been asked several times to put this out there, and I always seem to forget. But I've got it wrote down here this time, and I want you to pray for Chris. That's the son of Spirit Talker. So he's going through some rough times. So just keep him in your prayers. Remember to mention his name. His name's Chris. But we're going to, as we gather people in here, I might as well tell you, the topic tonight is going to be pretty much what the title said. It's going to be on a couple of these members of the squad, and just the craziness. You know, it never ends. It's always the same old, all the time. But every now and again, they do something really stupid, and that seems to be the case a lot. So we got a few people in here. Sam, good to see you. Deidre, glad you're here. Spirit Dancer, glad you're here, sweetheart. Let's see, we're going to get on this thing. We're going to talk about Ilhan, I sleep with my staff, Omar. You know, Omar never stops trying to destroy America. And it's just totally crazy that she's even in our Congress. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. This week, Omar once again proved that not only is she a liar about just about everything comes out of her mouth is a lie. But she wants America to be a third world country, and that's a fact. She wants us to be just like that hellhole she crawled out of with her family back when they migrated from Somalia. You know, speaking on the immigration issue, this Muslim traitor and would-be terrorist said we should do what any other country does by dealing with this situation in a serious way. She said, so we have to bring in the UN High Commissioner on Refugees. Can you believe that? Now we're going to bring the UN on our border. Yeah, like they're really going to solve some issues. As far as I'm concerned, the UN can just go blow. We should have left the UN a long time ago. At least President Trump does stand up to him, and I don't think that this idiot, Ilhan Omar, no matter what she thinks, is ever going to come to pass. But, you know, we have to be aware of what they're doing and what they're planning and what they're saying. I don't want to listen to CNN or MSNBC or none of those other channels to hear what this idiot has to say. I don't even listen to the new liberal Fox News. But I still have to be aware of what these idiots are saying and doing. So she wants to bring in the UN, an agency that is experienced and well trained to handle massive flows of refugees humanely, like we're not handling the immigrants on the border humanely, like we're treating them like animals, like we're putting them in cages like Obama did. But anyway, the U.S. has lost the moral high ground, she said, on the question of immigration and asylum. We're treating people like criminals when they have not committed a crime. Well, first of all, Miss Ilhan, I sleep with my staff, Omar. These illegal aliens broke the law. They broke the law simply by crossing that border illegally. So where are you not getting the full picture here? I mean, how can you say that these immigrants have broken no laws? You know, that's why we call them illegals. And personally, I like to call them illegal aliens. I don't want to call them migrants. You know, I don't hate these people. They need to stay home. Come across legal. Every one of those that comes across the border illegally is a slap in the face to one of those true immigrants who went through the process and learned English and the Pledge of Allegiance and stood before the flag and raised their hand, you know, to abide by our Constitution and our laws. There's nothing wrong with immigrant. Most of us immigrated here at one time or another in our history of our families. I mean, it's just that simple. I don't think any of us, there may be some Native Americans here, no doubt about it. They probably are. And they are the true Americans. All the rest of us are immigrants. Personally, I'm a Heinz 57. I really couldn't tell you what I am. I don't know. I've been told I'm English, French, Scottish, Irish, German, everything. So I don't know what I am. I'm a Heinz 57, but to me, I don't care. I'm an American first. And that's what happens is I'm an American first. And that's what these legal aliens are doing. They're putting America first. Not like Omar. You know, her and her 3 members of the DC Squad, you know, these freshman lawmakers that we have in our government now. I mean, it's just a blessing to have them there. You know, then they push the Demon Rat Party. That's what they do. They push the issues. You know, and as they push, the party just increasingly goes further and further to the left. I don't know how far left they can actually go, people. I really don't. I mean, you know, they already want free health care, free school, you know, decriminalization of illegals on the border, They want to abolish ICE. You know, that they want all of this stuff. But who's going to pay for it? That's the question. And see, these socialists can't answer that question because they haven't thought that far ahead. They're still thinking in today, even though AOC says in 10 or 12 years that Miami will be gone and the world's going to end because of climate change. Well, thankfully, the Trump administration has set out to tighten immigration laws and increase enforcement on the border. And that's exactly what we need. We must close the loopholes in our laws purposely put there by the demon rats. These demon rats purposely put those loopholes there just so these illegals could wiggle through. You know, that's why there's attorneys on the border and on the other side of the border counseling these people on what to say and how to act and what to do. I mean, come on, we have to think of this logically. These are the demon rats. You know in your heart that everything they accuse us of, they do. And Lord God, they accuse us of everything. So you see where the fault lays? It lays directly in their lap. So I want to continue a little bit. You know, Mexico and Guatemala, though, they have agreed, you know, to try to dissuade people from coming to the U.S. border. Not really sure how they're doing that, but according to the Trump administration, they are. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out. I really don't trust Guatemala or Mexico, for that matter, to enforce any kind of immigration. So we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, but nobody will ever convince me that Omar came here legally with her parents. You know, they came from Somalia. And it's a fact. You can look it up. You have to go hunt it down. I had it at one time, and I lost it. I can't find it again. But her and her family came here under an assumed name. So they're here illegally. So here she is, an illegal alien, refugee, if you'll have it, from Somalia, preaching about immigration on our southern border from Mexico and the other Central American countries. You know, this lady, in all honesty, people, she's a worthless piece of elephant dung. And that's really what she is. You know, we need to abolish ICE. You know, we need to end deportation. That's exactly what she wants us to do. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's that simple. Let's see here. You're right, Margot. Let's see here. Margot said, Lord, it just jumped away from me, Margot, but you said that they entered here illegally, and you're right. They certainly did. And I'm glad that somebody's listening to what I'm saying. I realize everybody's talking in the chat, and that's just fine. I don't have a problem with that. But in the meantime, while I'm looking here, let's see. Yeah, everybody's still saying hello, but Christy Quilter said, President Trump said the Mexican president has 25,000 troops on our southern border. I heard that as well, and thank you for reminding me of that. I heard it was somewhere between 25 and 27,000, but you know, I haven't seen those people on the border. I'm not saying they're not there, but pick up. What am I supposed to pick up? Dangerous freedom. Dangerous freedom. Explain yourself. What do I need to pick up? The train? Hello, Terry Chris. How you doing, brother? The phone? I don't see anything. Nobody's called me. Man, I don't know. Got me confused there, Ron. I don't know exactly what's going on. My phone hasn't rang. Oh, DA is trying to call. Well, he's not coming through. Let me see. I don't know why that is. But we'll check it out right quick, Dangerous Freedom. Yeah, my ring volume's up. So I don't know why it's not coming through. I promise you, if he calls, I'll answer. And we have Dennis Lawson and Deidre Baker. Oh, it keeps going to voicemail. I don't know, man. It's not ringing in at all. I've had problems with my phone lately. Um, I'll do my best. I mean, do you want to come on live here tonight? I guess I could figure out how to do it. But Lord, I lost where I was at there. Dangerous Freedom. Yeah, I'm looking at my phone and I don't see any missed calls. But I'm going to stay on the squad for a little while. All right, we'll try it now, DA. Okay. Man, I don't know what's wrong with my phone. I guess I need a new one. There it is. It's not ringing. Been having trouble with that phone for a couple of days. There we go. Hang on. Getting a call now. Let's see who it is. Hello. Oh, hey. What's going on? Yeah, I can barely hear you. Is this Charity? Well, thank you, Charity. It's a Charity and DA Archer both. I haven't talked to them in a while. They just wanted to call in and say, hey, well, I'm really glad you called. If I'd known that, shoot, I could have worked it out. I can't do it now because I'm not smart enough, but I could have invited you and we could have talked on. I could have had you here as a panel. But yeah, that's what I'm using now. Yeah, it's well worth it. I went to StreamYards and I did uh, a video today, a test video, and it turned out okay. And yeah, it's you can do a lot more with it than you can with Streamlabs. But I'm going to have to buy the premium version because you're limited, you know, to some of the stuff that you can do. It's I don't know. It's like $20 a month or something like that. But man, everybody's telling me that they can't hear you and they want me to talk. So let me get off of here and y'all call me tomorrow. All right, brother. I love you. Love you, Charity. Bye bye. I didn't want to be rude. I really didn't. I didn't know why they were calling. Um, I'm glad they did because I haven't heard from either one of them in a while, and I was wondering what was going on. But okay, we're going to get back on the deal. See, the term is tech. Yeah, I am. I am technology disabled. So way it goes. I told you I'm not very smart when it comes to technology. So um, by the way, if any of y'all want to come on here on a panel, if you want to show up, let me know. Call me, and we'll set it up for a Sunday, Wednesday, or a Friday if you want to be here with me. I don't really want to get too involved and get more than one person. I think you can get as many as 6 on StreamYards, but I think 1 would be enough for me to have to deal with to start with. And I'm glad everybody's saying hello. Stake 59's here. Dangerous Freedom always. My brother, he's always here. He's always supporting me. Check him out. He did a couple of good videos here over the weekend that's really informative. And if you've never thought about saving food for the future, for an emergency, check out his videos. He'll show you how it's done. And then you have Liberty Smith. Liberty Smith just started posting content, so check him out. Liberty Smith, he's a great guy. I don't know how this StreamYard works. I haven't seen anybody throw out URLs or anything like that. But maybe I have to add new moderators or something. I'm not really sure how to do that on StreamYards. I thought that Dangerous Freedom was a moderator, and DA, a bunch of people were supposed to be moderators, but I don't see a way to do that. So we'll just have to figure it out. I want to change a couple of things here. Put that up there for just a few minutes in case anyone would like to donate to my channel to help me grow. It'll be there for a few minutes, and then I'll take it away, and you won't see it again. That's just the way it is. I'm not going to beg for money, but I do appreciate anything to help me grow this channel, because it costs a penny here and there. But anyway, I'm going to stay on the topic. I'm going to talk about the squad and the craziness, and so then we have to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I mean, there's just no way around it. You have to talk about her if you're going to talk about a progressive socialist, if there's such a thing. I really don't know what she is. I know she talks socialist. She's supposed to be a progressive. She's supposed to be a Democrat. But I don't know what she is. But she's proven beyond any doubt that she knows very little about her beloved socialism. She doesn't even know anything about the environment. She doesn't know anything about energy or science or economics or job creation. And of course, she knows absolutely nothing about the government or how it works or how it was founded. She doesn't know anything. Plainly, she shows that she knows absolutely nothing about American history. I don't even know if she knows her own history. I've heard all this stuff out of her mouth. But, she never lets the facts get in the way of a good lie. Because she spews lies all the time. If she's tweeting or if she's talking, she's lying. And that's just the way it is with these demon rats. She says she's supporting making D.C. a state because D.C. is 76% demon rat, and that makes sense. Who's going to live in D.C. if you don't have to? 76% of the demon rats, that's who. And that means 2 or more seats for the Dems in the Senate and 1 more in the House. So you see how they look at stuff. It's always about how they can get more votes, either in the House or Senate, or from the illegals. It doesn't matter where the votes come from. It's all about votes. Upside down, back and forth. That's all it is for the demon rats, votes. And but I'll tell you that they lie so much and they're so corrupt when it comes to voting. It was brought to my attention the other day that Dianne Feinstein, I think it is, owns a lot of voting machines as well as Soros. Well, that's all we need is voting machines all owned by demon rats. I mean, tell me that there's no place for corruption there. Just because they're demon rats, that doesn't mean they're going to do illegal, corrupt, and downright underhanded and dirty politics, especially when it comes to our votes. They're going to be secure. That they're the chain of custody, from the voter all the way to the where they count the votes. There's going to be a chain of custody that's never broken. I guess that's the chain of custody that was in Florida at the last election when they were showing people getting ballot boxes out of their trunks, out of the trunks of their car or out of a U-Haul van. I mean, come on. These ballot boxes are supposed to be taken by security. It's supposed to be under guard. The people, they don't care about what you're supposed to do. All they want to do is get a vote and get Trump out of office. I don't think they'll succeed. But she says supporting DC. There's no other reason to make DC a state other than for the demon rats to have more votes in the Senate and the House. That's plain and simple. But listen to this tweet that she made. DC was the first territory in the United States to free the enslaved. It's where Black Americans fled the tyranny of slavery and towards greater freedom, to D.C. But yet today, it's where second-class citizens reign. And the right to vote is denied by our government now. Do you see the rhetoric here? It's not true. Madam Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I'll show you the respect that you think you deserve. But your tweet about voters being denied to vote is simply a lie. Plain and simple, you're lying. In 1961, D.C. residents have been allowed to vote for president and the vice president, and the district has been able to cast ballots in the Electoral College. So you tell me where votes have been denied. They haven't been. So more lies coming out of AOC. And you know, I don't really want to talk about them tonight, but they're so full of it. And I always have fun talking bad about them. I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I don't have to try to talk bad. All I have to do is tell you what they did, and they sound terrible. So it's not me making them sound bad. It's what they're doing that makes them sound bad. That's what makes them bad. So that's the whole story. You know, AOC's remarks show that she's clueless, and her blatant dishonesty about almost everything is overwhelming. This 29-year-old first-term congresswoman, I'll give her that respect, is nothing more than a waitress or a bartender before being catapulted into government office. And she was catapulted. I mean, granted, anybody could have ran against that fool that she was running against. I mean, he had some of the lowest ratings of anybody in Congress. So it wasn't that jump, you know, to get somebody young. And, you know, you can't say she's pretty. You know, I've made jokes in the past about them being the 4 horsewomen of the apocalypse, her and the rest of her squad. But, you know, when you call Alexandria Cortez a horse face, you're saying the truth. I mean, come on, she looks just like a horse. I mean, you know, she's got the long face, the big teeth, but it doesn't matter. I shouldn't talk bad about her just because she looks like a horse. She looks more like a mule, but a mule's too smart for her. So, anyhow, that's what I think of Ocasio-Cortez, and you knew it before I started. You know, I don't have the ink or the paper enough to list all the false things that she's told us and the totally ridiculous statements that she's made. But now she's a star. Everything she says is written down somewhere. So if you want to know what she's saying, you can find it. Go to YouTube, check her out. Because, you know, her Green New Deal in reality is scientifically impossible. You know, it comes with an enormous tax increase to everyone. I mean, how could we pay that kind of money? We could never pay for it. The destruction of industries and the billions of jobs lost and the trillions of needed dollars would bankrupt America. It's idiocy, plain and simple. You know, and on top of all this foolishness, the Green New Deal wouldn't affect the climate one little bit. You know, we would be the only country in the world abiding by this new Green Deal. We'd be the only country in the world that had cows that didn't fart. We'd be the only country in the world to have all electric cars. But then again, other than water, we won't have any way to generate that electricity to charge those cars. So I guess we'll be, sitting back to riding bicycles. But you can't ride horses because, you know, they poop in the street and they fart. We can't have that. But, you know, with all of their craziness, you know, about getting rid of all carbon-based emissions is just foolish. It only takes one volcano, a natural disaster, anywhere in the world, and that volcano will spew out more carbon than mankind has generated since our beginning. So it's all stupid. She doesn't know why she's talking about it. But you know, I guess she's going to put a big cork in the volcanoes. She's going to put a cork in the cows' butts, you know, to keep them from farting. Or either that, she's going to kill them all, one of the two. Then we'll all be vegetarians. But you know, AOC's loving embrace of socialism is downright scary if you think about it. If she thinks Venezuela is a role model for what the United States should be, she might need to be sent back to the first grade because evidently she's learned absolutely nothing the first time around. Evidently she has no education. She has no discernment. You see, she's so evil. She doesn't get godly discernment, you know, when she has to think about stuff or she meditates. I doubt if she even knows what meditate is. But you know, she is so divorced from reality that no one can take her seriously. And that's the truth. Nobody can take her seriously. And if you do, well, then you're a demon rat. Socialist, progressive, good Lord, I don't know what all they are, but anyway, they're terrible. We've still got one dirty, rotten imbecile in here. We've got Terry Christ, Liberty Smith, Deidre Baker, Dennis Lawson, D.A. Archer. Got some good people in here. Let me get rid of that PayPal banner. I didn't mean to leave it up there that long. I'll stick my phone number back up there. So if anybody wants to call me tomorrow between the hours of 7 and 7, feel free to do so. You can use the internet number there. Even though some of you have my direct line, this phone number works a whole lot better. It really does. Don't ask me why, but I don't seem to have glitches on this number that I'm having on my phone with Verizon. So if you want to call me, DA or Charity or anybody, use this number if you can, and it'll just be a better deal all the way around. You know, I really want to get off of the squad. I really do. I'm really sick about talking about it. And I've got another 4 pages on them, and I'm just going to throw it away. I'm just sick of talking about those 4 women. My good Lord, what are we going to do with them? You know, we can't shoot them. Can't get them out of office, at least not until 2020. And how are we going to vote them out? The only way we're going to vote them out is to get somebody to run against them on the Republican side that could actually carry a vote. And that's what we need to do. We need to start looking ahead now. We need to start trying to find people. And I'm not talking about just you and me. I'm talking about the GOP. They need to be looking at these Senate and congressional races that's going to be coming up in 2020. And let's unseat some of these demon rats. Let's take back the House of Representatives. Let's hold the Senate. Let's gain more seats in the Senate. And let's take the House back from the demon rats. And let's hope that President Trump, when he gets reelected in 2020, then he'll have the House and the Senate backing him. And maybe in the next 4 years, he could get a lot of this stuff done that so far he hasn't done so well on. I'm not going to dwell on those topics. I support the president. We're coming into 2020 here before too long. I am not going to be a Trump basher. I am going to vote for Trump. And I am going to do everything I can to see that other people vote for him. It doesn't matter if you like him or if you don't. He's the best thing we got going. And I say that all the time. I guess I need to get another saying. But he is the best thing we got going. And he's a proven winner. He's a proven leader. And we need to. Well, did you hear today? I think it was today, yeah. When he was talking to the Prime Minister, I think it was, of India. I think it was Prime Minister. But anyway, this guy was talking like a conservative Republican ought to talk. He was praising our president for all of his accomplishments, for all the good things he's done. You know, it doesn't matter. Everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what job you're in, you can do your best. But every now and then, something's not going to go exactly the way that you had hoped it would go. I mean, I don't care if you're building pallets for a shipping company. You know, every now and then you're going to misfire and you're going to shoot your finger. You know, you're not meaning to, but it happens. So with Trump, we have to give him that same leeway. We have to look at him as a man and not just the president. You know, he's a man first, you know, and he puts his pants on just like everybody else. Well, I don't know. Maybe some people may lay down to put them on. I don't know. I've seen women do that, so I guess these effeminate men might do that too. But anyhow, back to Trump. We have to stick with him, and we have to pray for him. We have to maintain our resolve to see this to the end. And we have to keep giving him, you know, our accolades and our admiration just for the work he does. So I'm going to get off of him, and I'm going to get back on more of that demon rat stuff. After I say hello, yeah, India does want America's help. That's what Dangerous Freedom said. And he said, that's what I like. Yes. I never shot my finger. Okay, I think it was Dangerous Freedom said that. Back the knife. Joe Biden and corruption. I don't have that on my list here, but I was reading something today about Joe Biden and his son and Ukraine. It looks like Hunter Biden, Uncle pedophile, creepy Uncle Joe Biden, son Hunter, who, from what I understand, is also a creepy pedophile. But anyway, to get to the topic, while Joe Biden was vice presidency, he had a deal with the Ukraine, even though Hunter Biden had no idea what he was getting into. He had no knowledge or any experience. But thanks to creepy Uncle pedophile Joe Biden, his son got a very lucrative contract with Ukraine. I'm talking millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, pretty much for nothing. So you see, when you talk about corruption, let's look at the demon rats. I mean, my goodness, practically any and every Republican, from Roger Stone to Paul Manafort, whoever picked their nose and flung it the wrong way, has been, taken to jail and to court. I mean, come on, what is this deal? But yet you have all of these demon rats: Clapper, Brennan, Biden, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page. I mean, come on, the list goes on and on. HRC, Barack Obama, Michelle, Bill Clinton, Chelsea Clinton, for God's sake. I mean, come on. But yet you don't see any of these. You see none of these people being brought to justice. And that's one of the things that I'm hoping that President Trump is going to work on after he gets a few more judges appointed. And we see what happens with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. A lot of people say she died months ago. Well, I don't know. They've got her propped up pretty good, I guess. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all going to turn out for the best in 2020. And we can just hope and pray that everything from there to 2024 gets better. And then we really have to start praying that whoever replaces Trump in 2024 is not a demon rat. We have to make sure of that. We can never, ever, ever, never, ever let a demon rat back in the White House. I'm a firm believer that if we do, It's going to be somebody with the mentality of Beto O'Rourke, who admitted over and over again that, yeah, if he was president, he was going to come take your guns. And he was going to see to it that he took them. And there was nothing you could do about it. And I'll promise you, somebody like Beto O'Rourke in the presidency, yeah, don't put it past him to declare martial law, to send the military and the police door to door to confiscate weapons. People, it can happen. But that's where the trouble's going to lie, is when we let a demon rat back in the White House and they think that they can corrupt America like Barack Obama corrupted our foreign policy around the world, as well as our country, as well as our employment, sending all of our jobs to foreign countries, getting kickbacks the whole time. You see, that's what the demon rats are all about. They're all about what they accuse you of. I can't say that enough. They never give up. They lie, they con, they cheat, they steal. They have no morals. Pardon me. They have no morals. They look to no higher authority. You know, they're like spiritualists. You know, don't know what spirit that they're dealing with, but evidently it's not the one that I know. It's not Jesus, and it's certainly not his Father God. I don't know who they're talking to. Maybe it's Satan. I don't know. It has to be one of those demons, because they don't believe in anything good. There's no such thing as ending abortion. You know, why should we end abortion? My goodness, we couldn't kill enough black kids if we ended abortion. And look at all the money we'd be losing. Come on, we got to keep population down. See, that's the whole thing. It's not just abortion. It's all kinds of stuff. They want to get the population down to 500 million. Well, people, that means that several billion of us are going to have to die. And you see, it's going to be the cabal. It's going to be those who lead our leaders. It's going to be their decision when the first shot gets fired, because they're scared. They want to take our guns. They want to take our Bibles. They want to take our God away from us. It'll never happen. Patriots like Dangerous Freedom and D.A. Archer and Liberty Smith and that hard-working man, one dirty, rotten imbecile. I'll tell you, Disabled Vet's Perspective, another great man, great veteran. We're not going to stand by and let the government do this to us. We have no guarantee in 2024. We really have no guarantee in 2020. But I have to have faith that President Trump is going to rise to the top, and he's going to defeat any demon rat that they put up in front of him. You know, I don't know. It's probably going to be, it's one of these crazy voting deals, to where they find votes, days and days after the election, and it's going to be all kind of voter fraud and vote harvesting and all that kind of stuff. So what's the chance? Here in Georgia, Stacey Abrams is still not yet conceded that she lost to Governor Brian Kemp. And it's been over 2 years. So is that what whoever goes up against Trump is going to do? They're just going to refuse to concede? Are they going to show their childlike mentality? Are the snowflakes and the liberal social justice warriors, are they going to be crying again at the end of the election? Are they going to be in tears? They were when Hillary lost. So tell me now, are they going to get behind whoever the nominee is for the Demon Rat Party? I say yes. They're going to have to. They're going to have to rally around one, whoever it might be. Last I heard, Elizabeth Warren is in the lead. And if it's not her, it's Joe Biden. Corey, meet me in the bathroom, Booker. He's going to fall away. Just like Kamala, I slept my way to the top, Harris. And that mealy mouth Benajig, or whatever his name is, the little limp-wristed mayor from wherever he's from. We don't need people like that in our government, especially as president. But thank God it's not going to happen anyway, no matter who they put up. It's just not going to happen. We can't allow it. So we have to stand strong as patriots. But you know, places like California are totally wrapped up in this Trump derangement syndrome. You know, that it's something that only happens to demon rats. It's a little funny, you know, to have a disease like that, and it only affects the demon rats or the socialist or anybody that doesn't like Trump. I guess that includes some of these rhinos, you know, these Republican and name only people who say that there goes a moth, support Trump. But behind the scenes, they're doing everything they can to bring him down. It's happening, people. He's got people in his cabinet and in his government that they're holdovers, you know, from Obama, maybe even from Bush. Good Lord. He's got people in there that hate him. But he's still rising to the top. But you know, in California legislature is making an absurd claim. And they say that they have the power to ignore federal law. That they can simply just ignore it. Federal law doesn't pertain to California. And the whole thing is they want to ban ICE altogether. It started out they just wanted to ban ICE from housing illegal aliens, you know, in privately owned prisons and jails. Well, that didn't succeed, so now they want to just do away with ICE altogether. And I want to tell you, people, this California ban is dangerous and it's harmful. It won't stop illegal detention. Legal detention of illegal aliens. Simply put, all it will do is raise the cost to the U.S. taxpayers to house these criminals that just happen to be illegal aliens. You know, because they're being held in worse conditions if they're held in state or federal prisons. It's a fact. I've never been to prison, but I've visited a few people back in the day. I'd go to the jails and to the prisons, and I would talk to the inmates, you know, and try to witness to them. And these privately owned prisons were like, you know, a hotel compared to a pup tent in the woods, compared to a city, county, or state or federal prison. So, yeah, I mean, it costs less, and our prisoners are taken better care of if they deserve to be better taken care of. But it's cheaper. So that's the only reason I say do it. Because I personally, you know, what was his name? Sheriff Aparo, or something like that, Dangerous Freedom. You know who I'm talking about. He housed his prisoners inside chain link fences and army tents, and that's where they lived, and they deserve no better. If you're in prison, you don't deserve to have the finest things, you know, that they have at home. You don't deserve all that. You know, I think if you're in jail for anything, that it ought to be, I'm not saying bread and water, but yeah, you ought to eat, you know, a sandwich for lunch. Maybe you can have a hot meal for supper and cereal for breakfast. You don't deserve any more than that. But they do. They give you 3 squares and a bunk. So that's all you got to do. Go to prison, you're taken care of. And there's a lot of people that think just that way. I mean, I know of people that just can't stay out of prison. You know, they go to jail for some mealy little crime when they're young. You know, in their teens, they go to juvenile hall, and then it was bad enough that once they turned 17, they put them in a jail somewhere for a couple of years, and they came out with parole. All you got to do is keep your nose clean, get a job, live like you're supposed to live, and don't commit any more crimes. Make your parole visits when you have to go see your parole officer. You know, pay your fine. You know, do what you're supposed to do to not go back to jail. But needless to say, the two people that I know of just can't get through that parole period. They just have to break the law sometime during that parole and go right back to prison to finish out their parole in prison because they broke parole. But then they also broke the law, so now they have more time added to. So you see, it's a never-ending cycle for some people. It's easier for them to live in prison than it is to live on the streets. They just can't abide by our laws. They think that they live by the, I don't know, like we're beasts or something. You know, the power to the strongest. I guess that's the way it works in prison. I don't really know. But it doesn't work out here on the streets. We have laws that govern us, you know, and we're supposed to abide by them. And that's what kills me about these illegal aliens. The very moment they step across that southern border, they're breaking the law. And it just goes downhill from there. They're giving sex changes to prisoners who want it now. Yeah, can you believe that? I'm telling you, it makes no sense. No sense. Why should we pay for a prisoner to have a sex change? Why should we pay for anyone to have a sex change? They do it in the military even. Come on, look at Chelsea Handler. I guess that's the name she's going by now. I mean, come on. She's a celebrity in certain crowds, I hear. Certainly not in my circle of people. I'm not even sure if her name is Chelsea Handler. Somebody can tell me if it is or not. True. Okay, dirty, rotten imbecile. No problem. Oh, 3% reports in here. 12B Georgia's in here. Liberty Smith, my brother. Dangerous Freedom, another brother, just like DA. And one rotten, dirty imbecile, or one dirty, rotten imbecile. I'll get that right. Jeff Brandau. The only thing you get through the day lately is thinking about the guy that killed my son. Oh, my God. Brother, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you, and you'll be in my prayers, Jeff. I promise. And yeah, I can't help it. Yeah, sometimes the human side of me takes over, and I hope you're right. I hope he does become somebody's female dog in there. I hope he's one of those that wears his pants down around his knees, advertising. You know, that's something I never could understand, people. And I found this out because I asked somebody one time where he came from. These guys that wear their pants down around their knees, you know, and show their underwear, their butts or whatever, walk around holding them up in the front. You know where that came from? Now, this is the truth. Because I had a gay ex-prisoner tell me that this is what it was for. You wore the back of your pants drooped down halfway across your butt to indicate to everybody that you were willing, you know, that you would be their female dog. I be honest with you, people. That was more information than I needed to hear, and I guess it was more than you needed to hear as well. But that crossed my mind, and I thought, well, good Lord, I might as well go ahead and say it. I'm thinking it. And it gets me in trouble sometimes because I say what I think, and sometimes I don't think it through. Well, I don't think I hurt anybody's feeling. I didn't say anything too far out of hand. Yeah, thank you. One dirty, rotten imbecile. I answered almost anything. That's cool. Showing the goods, 12B Georgia. Let's see. We still have Ancient Drummer and Terry Christ. I think he's still in here. D.A. Archer. I could not even begin to think. Wow, Jeff, I'm sorry. You're right, D.A. My brother, my heart goes out to you, Jeff. I had no idea. I know what it's like to lose a sister or a father, but I've never lost a child. And my heart goes out to you, brother. It has to be the worst thing in the world to bury a child. So my prayers go to you, brother. God will get you through it. And maybe, just maybe, your wish will come true. Maybe you'll have a baby while he's in there. That's a joke. Sorry about that. All right, we have Lynn M. Stake 59, 12B Georgia. Yeah, y'all, man. Everybody pray for Jeff. Uh, Pray that he gets some relief. It's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. These demons have been lying to us and stealing our whole lives. It's time for a reckoning. You're right. Liberty Smith, you're exactly right. And people, if you don't have Liberty Smith, click on him. That little pig up there with the Betsy Ross flag behind him. Click on that icon. Go to his channel. Check him out. He just started making content. I had to urge him. I've been talking to him for quite a while on the phone, and we talk most days. So yeah, I've had to urge him to go ahead. And Dangerous Freedom, my dear friend in Arizona, he's starting to put out a little more content there. And so check him out. Check out everybody on here that has content. One of these days, I'm going to have to check into this, though, and see about, putting people's links and stuff up here. I don't know exactly how that's done yet, but this is my first true live stream on StreamYard, so I've got some learning to do. They got some tutorials I'm going to take, and next month I guess I'll try to purchase the premium version, and we'll see if we can't get things working a little better in here. Mac the Knife says, I serve my country. The illegals get more than I do. Brother, you are right. Ancient Drummer, I don't have any videos yet. Well, you need to get some. You need to get some. Because, and let's see here, D.A. Archer says, hit that thumb up. I promise it's less painful than smashing your own. You're right. So hit that thumbs up, people. It matters. Um, I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but it's been explained to me that was a good one, Margot. Let me get that on here for you. Well, I don't know where that came from. Margot, there you are. We owe our vets everything. Thank you, Margot. I appreciate you saying that. As a veteran, I'll take that personal, and I'll pass it along to everybody that can, within the sound of my voice. Yes, we owe the vets everything. I was blessed, and I personally never saw wartime. I went in at the tail end of Vietnam, and I was in for several months while Vietnam was still going on. But by the time I finished my training, we'd stopped sending troops. So I was blessed as a punk kid of 17. But people, it's getting close to my 1 hour. I always say that I'm not locked in to an hour. But like Disabled Vets Perspective and other people that go live, I try not to walk on the hour ahead of me, just in case one of our friends wants to go live and do something. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out of here. It's 8:59. If it's all right with you, I want to say a short prayer, and I'll get out of here. Hit that like button before you leave. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the bell icon. And I'll see you Wednesday night at 8 o'clock if I don't do a video before. But anyway, I had stuff left, so we did good tonight. Jesus, Lord, thank you, dear God, for all the many blessings that we receive. Lord, thank you, Lord, for the sacrifice that you made for us. Lord, we have to always remember to look to you whenever there's pain or sorrow or grief or sadness or joy. We also look to you when we're joyful and glad and happy. Lord, that's what we get from you. We get a happy heart and a joyful soul. Lord, just knowing that I am yours and you are mine. Lord, thank you for this opportunity again to be with my friends. Lord, thank you for all of them being here. Lord, I know that you put it on their hearts. It's nothing that I do. Lord, I give you the honor and the glory for it all. Lord, go with these, my friends, tonight as we all go our separate ways. So I always try to say, Lord, to lead us and guide us and bless us with your love. In Jesus' name I pray these things. So be it, and amen. And everybody, I love you. I'm going to get out of here. I'll talk to you all Wednesday night. Have a great night.